Hello and welcome to another edition of All Influencer Wrestling Broadside. Making his way down to the ring, Avric Brightmoon, one half of our tag team opening this match tonight. Avric teaming with his childhood friend Tiff, of course their friend Ashapal in tag action herself later on in our main event. A showcase tag match for these two with an interesting set of opponents, I think you'll agree. Gyrating his way down to the ring comes Tiff, Avric's partner tonight. These two orphaned in an attack on the city of Iman in childhood, bonding through this experience, reuniting in adulthood. They are here in AIW to chase Clout. And introducing the opposing team. Should be interesting how this shakes out. Of course, coming out of AIW Drama Bomb with the briefcase. Brock making his way down to the ring for his part in this tag match tonight. Dwarfing both of his opponents, either in bulk or in height. Tiff and Avric are going to have quite the task ahead of themselves, as long as Brock can coexist with his tag partner.
And from Avalon, weighing in at 150 pounds, the prestigious Internet Champion, The Dream.
And here he is, our Sold Clout champion. Undefeated since he got that belt is Abel Therron. But can Abel trust his partner in this match? Brock being the holder of that briefcase, Abel will have to have eyes in the back of his head tonight. The ostensible opponents in Avric and Tiff not to be underestimated, but will Brock take advantage of this opportunity and cash that briefcase in? A dangerous position for our champion to be in tonight. As we start out with the largest size differential, Avric and Brock locking up in the middle, and Brock just hoying the smaller competitor down into the mat. Avric, though, not one to take that line down. Tried to go for a suplex on Brock to prove his own strength. Brock able to power out. Unexpected nimbleness from the larger man there. Just shoves Avric down to the ground. And a clubbing blow to the back of Avric's head coming from the left. He's not able to see that coming, quite literally. And tripping him down, smart move by Avric. Use Brock's momentum against him, but again, the sheer power of Brock, excuse me, not able to be overcome. Kick out at 1. It is going to take a lot more than that to keep this resilient halfling down. And Brock tagging in Abel. Is he just trying to keep their team fresh, or is he allowing Abel to wear himself out for a potential cash-in later on? Tiff making the tag as well. 2 fresh competitors now in the ring. Oh, Abel there keeping eyes at all corners sends Avric flying out of the ring before turning his attention back to Tiff. Abel here firing on all cylinders. And darts over to tag back in Brock. Brock sees that dive coming from Tiff and just slaps him down out of the air. That's what we've come to know to experience from Brock. He is not elegant, but will just brutalize his opponents. Corkscrew takedown though from Tiff, trying to keep the big man off balance. And a blow to the head will continue to do that. Trying to reposition away from the ring ropes. What does the Tiefling have in mind here? Just going straight for the pinfall, it seems. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 by Brock. And an elbow sending Brock down, isolating him in his team corner. Excellent tag tactics by Tiff and Avric here thus far. Oh, what does Tiff have in mind? Big running double drop kick there to the head of the prone Brock. And again, this incredible athleticism, the lithe Tiff on display. Trying to keep the momentum going, not letting Brock re-establish his center of gravity. Very smart tactics here by Tiff. And you have to imagine, with the team isolating Brock, this has to be making Abel at least a little bit relieved. Allow Brock to take the punishment and come in fresh to finish the match is the safest avenue here for Abel, but will his strong moral center allow him to let Brock take that level of punishment? Abel, definitely one of the more upstanding and heroic figures we have seen here in AIW. What does Brock have in mind? Saw that Tiff was going for the break on the outside and charging around. And up he goes. This is gonna hurt. And a powerbomb Tiff right off the hardest part of the ring and swinging the arm down in there as well. That is going to do a lot of damage. Avric needs to get tagged into this match. Brock aware of that fact. Avric going to try to assist Tiff. Brock sandwiching Avric between his own body and the steel steps. Avric looks out of it. Meanwhile, Tiff and Abel locking up on the outside. And Brock going to run the ropes, sending Abel to the floor outside. Was that a mistake, or was that a strategic move by the Gardener? Wrenching the arm of Tiff. And tagging in Therron. Avric, meanwhile, back up in his corner. Hops up, and up goes the high-flying Abel. Begging for a Tiff to get back to his feet. What does Therron have in mind here? And big corkscrew arm drag going for, but missed. Tiff out of the way. Turns his attention, tries to knock Brock off the ring apron. Simply not able to get enough power behind that swing, excuse me. And there, a miscommunication, I think, between Tiff and Avric. Bouncing Abel off towards the corner, Abel managed to knock Avric off the ring apron. Tiff dominating Therron in the middle of the ring right now, and they're tagging in our rage-fueled halfling paladin, and there's that short burst of speed. Might have those little stubby legs, but he can get a lot of movement of those very quickly. And there's the power of Brightmoon. Just power bombing Abel down to the mat. One, but only a one. This is the tenacity you have to have held the Soul Clout Championship for as long as Abel Therron has. Bouncing off, I think we're going to see some double team strategy here from these two. Tiff going up top and smashing, trying to break the arm of Therron, but he is too quick, unable to capitalize. So Tiff continues through. Oh, Therron fighting out of whatever grapple attempt Tiff was going for there. And impressive athleticism by Therron, going for the tag. And Tiff doing maybe the same? No, just hauling himself back up. Brock now legal. And just dragging Tiff across the upper ring apron. Avric trying to get Brock's attention, and he got it, but I think he might regret it. Tiff able to knock Brock off balance and giving Avric what he wants. Avric would love to take down an opponent the size of Brock and prove that size is not everything. Although with the way Brock is dragging him around the ring right now, Avric hauling himself, using the ring ropes to assist. Brock, though, ready and waiting, and over the rings, just hoys Avric off, and then Tiff as well, slinging them around like sacks of potatoes. Tiff is barely conscious. Avric over the shoulders of the big man, and off the turnbuckle he goes. Tiff still does not even know what his name is over there. Gradually shakes out of it, and Brock, I think, telling Abel to go pick up the pieces. Therron striking the pose, waiting. He thinks he's going to put this away. But I don't think he trusts what Brock has in mind. Just gets that blow in and immediately tags Brock back in. Gave Avric, though, time to shift that momentum, and again, this is that tag offense we see from these two working fluidly together, and between the two of them, able to hoist Brock through the air. Not a lot can do that, but that double team is going to give what it takes. Tiff trying to slow it down there with the headlock. Tiff very sensibly not trying to overpower Brock, simply going for limb manipulation, but only a one. Into the corner, and that was a brutal bounce off the turnbuckle there for Brock. And again, that buttery smooth tag offense from Avric and Tiff. Over the ring goes Brock. Tiff going there to pick up the pieces. Meanwhile, Avric turns his attention to Abel. Very smart move by these two. I think Abel was able to fend off Avric, who goes back to trying to knock Brock's partner out of this match. And yeah, they have split the party. Avric just smashing Abel's spine off the ring apron. Sends Brock crashing down to the ship's decking. Divide and conquer strategy from Team Emon here. But still unable to overcome the sheer power of our Badger. And off, down, bouncing Avric's head, I think, off the ship's decking there, sending him down to the corner. The ref's count getting up there. 7, Brock coming in. Can Avric get back in time to break the count? barely made it in and into the waiting arms of Brock, who again tags back in Abel. And up and over, there we go. And knee strike to the head of Therron, kip up. Abel Therron saying it's going to take more than that to keep me down. And Avric goes like this. Knee to the face of Therron. It goes to tag in Tiff. Again, these two keeping each other fresh, making sure that neither of them is in the ring for too long, not getting either of them too worn down. Excellent tag offense. And up and over, much easier to sling around the smaller Abel. Tiff, I think, considering going for a high-risk maneuver there, thought better of it, which is rare for him. Up. And again, continual tags keep each other fresh. Avric thought about charging for Brock, but instead turning his attention back to Therron, who was able to counter, turns Avric's own momentum against him. Is this going to be the... And there we go. Finishing maneuver by Therron. Is that going to do it? No. Tiff easily able to get across the ring and end that pinfall. And Avric just countering that blow there from Abel. Up he goes over. Avric just hyping up. Yes, bring on the big man, says Brightmoon. Manages to knock Brock off balance into his own corner. Therron down on the outside. And in comes Tiff. And over, and there we goes. The positively stunning kick, but not enough. Not enough. Brock still able to power out at 2. What is it going to take to put him down? Bounces off the turnbuckle, goes for the tag offense again. Avric legal. And just straight up punch to those iron-like guts. Oh, and we're going to see the powerhouse of Avric. Here he goes. Reaching deep into that core for the Seren Ray Slam. That may well do it too. And no. I'm not sure whether Therron broke that up or if Brock was able to power out, but Avric is furious. You had to imagine that should have done it. What is it going to take to keep Brock down? Hip toss to Brightmoon. And just presses Avric and drops down over the knee. Is that going to do it? Tiff there for the save, I think. Yep, Tiff able to break up the pinfall attempt. Therron nowhere near as quick trying to help with that situation, but is eyeing up Tiff, and big crushing elbow drop. Game, set, match. No! No! Brightmoon digs deep, still able to power out. Brightmoon showing he has just as much resilience as Brock. And again, over bouncing Brightmoon's head off the hardest part of the ring there. Oh, what does Brock have in mind here? Gut stomp. Tiff is laying out on the side of the ring. Sends him back in. And hoisting him back over to his corner. And tag of finally seeing some double team offense from these two. And there, Therron going with the gut punch to Brightmoon. Waltz up and over, and that's an exchange of athleticism there, but Avric able to duck under that drop kick there from Therron, but able to follow through. Brock said no. Brock not able to get across in time. Tiff once again saves the matchup for this team as this match continues to roll on. Brock back in once again. And again, Therron ducking out of the way. I don't think he trusted what Brock was up to there. Very rare high-flying maneuver from Brock. Diving elbow from the top. Is Tiff going to make it in time? Can Therron say? No, Tiff once again breaks up the pinfall. And there again, Brock knocks Therron off. Was that a mistake? Not sure. But Avric able to get the knees up for that splash attempt. Tried to go for the tag. Brock able to close the gap. Avric able to turn that powerbomb attempt into a DDT. Hyping himself up. There goes Brock with the tag. Brock now looking rocked. And Abel Therron in a very dangerous situation. Spear to the corner from Brightmoon. But able to counter is Therron. Drop kick of his own. Hyping up. Waiting for Brightmoon to get back to his feet. And there we go again. But once again, poor ring awareness there by the champion. Tiff easily able to break up that pinfall. And attempted to knock Tiff out of the equation. Tiff able to counter. Lost it that time, but that was enough time to allow Brightmoon to get back to his feet. And guts, punches, counters out. Blow to the head of Therron. And once again, back into his team's corner for another double team offense. We're going to see that top rope axe handle onto the arm again. Sends Tiff bouncing off the apron. Drop kick, but not enough to knock the tiefling off his feet. Snap neck, though, sends Tiff down to the mat. Brock back on his feet as well. Into the corner, and this team starting to work together a little better, perhaps. Oh, this is going to be bad for Tiff. And just a gigantic boot by Brock, but Avric staying right there. Therron needs to take care of Brightmoon. I think Brock waiting to see if that's going to be the case. No, decides that that's not going to be enough to put down Tiff. Headbutt to Tiff and tagging back in Therron, who hypes up the crowd. And that was a mistake by Therron there. Gave Tiff time to get over to the corner. Or was it? Baited Brightmoon in. Tiff on the outside. That may have been a very smart strategic maneuver there by our Soul Clout champion. Isolating Brightmoon, and once again lands that slam. Goes for the pinfall. This may well do it. 1, 2. Brock ready and waiting, and that did it. That did it. And wait. That's Steve Sparks' music. Sparks seemingly having found himself another minion. Has Sparks and Phantom teamed up out here to call out the team of Avric and Tiff. Why does Sparks have his sights set on this duo, and what is the Phantom doing at Sparks' side? That is going to be a fascinating maneuver. But in the meanwhile, Therron able to win that match for his team. A brutally hard-fought match. And Therron not having to risk the cash-in from Brock tonight, it seems. That briefcase remains in Brock's possession. Therron continuing to have to keep a very, very close eye, as our Badger will still continue to have his eyes set on that championship. But we will be back in just a moment for more hard-hitting action here on All Influencer Wrestling. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void-black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the centre. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre. And welcome back as we kick straight into the action with our next match between Saria Violet and Banshee. Banshee offering a handshake there at the start of the match and snubbing the return from Saria. And Saria now in a foul mood at that disrespect shown by Banshee at the offset. And definitely making her suffer for it. Leg drop right off there. As Banshee hauls herself back up in the corner and Saria puts the, I would say boots, but she's wearing sandals. And hyping up, that may have been a terrible mistake by Banshee to kick this off. That disrespect appears to have really, really fired up Violet here in this match tonight. Sends off the corner and big running drop kick directly to the back of the head. Oh, there we go though. Banshee finally able to grab a break in the offense and big swinging DDT to Saria. Is this now going to be the shift in momentum she needs? And there's that very rapid athleticism we have seen from Banshee in the past, throwing the horns up, trying to put those stiletto boots into the head of Violet. She is having absolutely none of it. And there's that quick striking offense from this Sun Soul Monk. That is where she is the most dangerous. Not a grappler is Saria Violet. She is all about that striking offense. Elbow saving Banshee, from that, and trying to break over the arm there, wrenching the arms of Saria. Smart move by Banshee. Do as much damage to the limbs as possible and reduce that dangerous key empowered offense. And there once again, she's trying to slow this match down wrenching the arms of Violet. Good strategy here by Banshee. And over she goes, neck snap to Violet. Banshee now very much the one in control. And got a contortion maneuver around. She is wrenching the abdomen of Violet, who is able to power out and just drops the spine of Banshee down to the mat. And that kick straight to the head. Sometimes one blow is all it takes. Is that going to be the takes for Saria Violet tonight? No, Banshee kicks out at 2. And able to power out and dodging around. And an elbow to the face by Violet. Holds Banshee back up and roundhouse kick. 1, 2, is that going to do it? And 3, Banshee put away. Saria may be a Sun Soul monk, but she put you to sleep tonight. Roundhouse kick there, that is all it takes. One sudden blow. And Saria getting a desperately needed win under her belt. Will that represent a change in fortunes for our monk here? I do believe that is Saria Violet's first recorded win here in AIW. After that very quick bit of breath, catching our breath through that match, we will be right back in just a moment. We're going to keep things rolling right on here. Back with the multi-man action up next as we establish the #1 contender for Abel Therron's Soul Clout Championship. We'll be right back after these short messages. Hi. I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Loomsdalaminster, and the Clout Missioner of all Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. And welcome back to Fatal 4-Way action.
The following contest is a Fatal 4-Way match. Making his way to the ring from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing in at 200 pounds, the X-Factor.
Sevius Doom making his way down to the ring. First entrant in this match. Not the type of 4-way I usually like to take part in, but this is going to be a welcome challenge. One of these 4 competitors will challenge Abel Therron for his Soul Clout Championship. None of these competitors have had that opportunity yet, so a great opportunity on the line here. new arrival here in AIW, Bude, making their way to the ring. Going from brand new roster member to champion would be a impressive rise to dominance. Will Bude be able to pull that off? And our third entrance in this match tonight.
And from parts unknown, weighing in at 219 pounds, DC.
Looking to produce a win for himself tonight. Producer to the stars, Atamansa extraordinaire DC Lasser has his eyes on Clout tonight. Will he be able to see off his opponents and score that match with Abel Therron? Of course, in addition to Sevius Doom and Bude, he will have to see his way through our fourth and final entrant in this match. A man that DC is very familiar with. The lab is open. Big Magic Reynolds making his way down to the ring. Just like the other three, he has his sight trained on that Soul Clout Championship. Friendship between Reynolds and DC sure to be put to the test in this match. An alliance between the two may help fend off Sevius Doom and Bude, but only one will be able to win this match. Only one will make their way to that title shot against Abel Therron. Risk for these two in this match that Bude or Sevius may be able to take advantage of if they are unwilling to do whatever it takes to put the other away. That may create an opening that one of the other two would be able to take advantage of. 4 enter, 1 wins. Let's see how this goes. And immediately splitting up. Phantom and DC locking up, as do Bude and Big Magic. It looks like DC and Big Magic getting the upper hand in these early exchanges. And, well, what every person for themselves in this match, as Big Magic turns his attention to DC, slamming him down to the mat and going immediately for the pinfall. Not enough, only able to kick out a 1, but good tactics there by Reynolds. Whilst Sevius and Bude are locked up, try to get that quick, sneaky pinfall in. Sevius tried to do the same thing, but without Reynolds being distracted, no way that was going to end this match. And switching in once again, DC and Big Magic in control. Splash down onto the prone Bude, but there's DC waiting. Buday's presence there, not able to let DC bounce off the ropes, and punch right to the hat. DC rolling out of the ring to get some breathing room there. Reynolds turning their attention to Buday and then to Sevius, who was able to dodge that clothesline attempt. Sevius trying to figure out what to do with Reynolds. I think was trying to go for the corner there, realized DC was waiting and thought better of it, and just sort of froze up. That is the type of hesitation that is going to cost you in a match like this. And there's Buday, no hesitation there from that competitor. And Sevius, though, taking advantage of an opportunity. Reynolds has gone for the sledgehammer. Weapons, of course, perfectly legal in a four-way match. Reynolds, the first one to go for a difference maker. Sevius taking some time to recover. Buday watching what Magic is doing to DC and going for hopefully a follow-up, but that pinfall didn't let Buday capitalize. And in with the sledgehammer, Reynolds trying to go for the knees of DC there, and then turn the attention to Sevius Doom. I am relatively certain that that does not count as lab safety equipment, but I don't think Reynolds cares. And there's Buday trying to capitalize, able to counter is Sevius, but DC right there didn't even get the one counter on that pinfall. And there's a bit of retaliation from DC, turning his attention now to Buday and Sevius. Waiting as Buday gets back to their feet. There is DC ready to capitalize, up and suplex, but there is Sevius Doom waiting. And sends DC down to the floor. And what does Sevius have in mind here? Big back drop. There is no one competitor emerging as dominant at this stage in the match. It is every competitor for themselves. Although Buday looking a little glassy-eyed there, Sevius may have a great opportunity here. Oh, gave Buday a little too much time there to recover as DC tries to reposition Reynolds. Oh, trying to go for a low blow there, I think Buday did, but DC able to shift out of the way. Tried to go for a submission on Reynolds. Didn't work. And there we have up and crucifix bomb. Down goes DC. And Buday following through. Has DC contorted. Sevius now has that sledgehammer, and Reynolds has turned his attention to the steps. And slam over the knee goes Reynolds. Sevius turns their attention to Buday, wrenching the gut over the shoulder. That is a painful predicament for Buday to be in. Ref watching, is Buday going to tap out? DC and Reynolds distracted on the outside. DC noticing Buday slip out, cheering, hyping up there, realizes that that was saving the match for both him and Reynolds, and up and down over the knee. DC getting some trash talk in on Reynolds there as he has him over the ship's barricade. And Sevius now with that sledgehammer in hand. Buday able to counter. Starting to get some momentum going there as DC and Reynolds are locked up on the outside. And down goes Buday. Sevius in the middle of the ring. Can he do it? No, DC just able to break up the pinfall. Sevius almost had this match won were it not for the ring awareness of DC Lasser. And up. And oh, Buday able to counter into a DDT. Buday and DC now left in the ring. Right flying elbow from DC sends Buday down and removes the sledgehammer from their hands. Reynolds is just making a pile of steps on the outside. And what is he going for now? He has a kendo stick. As Sevius hoists Reynolds up. Look at the sheer power of Sevius Doom. Not enough though. Reynolds able to overbalance. Takes out the leg of Doom. Buday, meanwhile, just, I think, biting and just pummeling DC down into the ring canvas. Reynolds on the outside, I think, almost paralyzed by indecision as to which set of steps to use to brutalize Sevius Doom. What does Bude have in mind? Leg drop over and, feet to the face of DC. That may well be it. Sevius and Zero on the outside. DC barely able to power out. Bude cannot believe it. Sevius Doom and Reynolds were going at it on the outside. That almost ended the match. DC really digging down into his reserves for that one. And up over the shoulders and down goes Bude. What does DC have in mind? Grabbing the steps himself, coming back through. I think he's got violence in mind, and indeed cracks the face of Bude. And Bude is not happy about that, sends Lasser back into the ring, grabs that kendo stick, and instead cracks it over the head of Reynolds. And I think that is now 2 for 2 for Bude on being busted open in their matches here in the AIW, and Sevius looking to make that even worse, cracking that kendo stick over the head of Bude, able to counter. Sends Sevius back into the ring. Pinfalls only count inside the ring. Bude the one showing ring awareness here. And there's Sevius trying to send DC back in. Reynolds there countering on the outside. Sevius able to fight out of that grasp, but not for long. Over the shoulders and the power and bound face first down onto that unforgiving wooden ship's decking. Low blow by Bude. DC out on the side of the ring, sent Zero off to the side, trying to work over Sevius Doom, but Zero has recovered. And there's some retaliation for that kendo stick treatment earlier. Bude winding up and able to power out is Sevius Doom, but not for very long. And down, I think bouncing his head off the steps there was Bude, and DDT from DC. Following through, trying to wrench Bude down to the ground and going through, trying to go for a submission. That's not going to work on the outside of the ring though. And Sevius trying to get some momentum going. Hip toss by Reynolds, changing that around. Bude back to their feet. Going for the taunt, stomping feet, and there's Sevius. Blocked by Bude. Meanwhile, Reynolds crashing. You feel that in the knees, the spine. That is going to hurt. Bude trying to break up that exchange, saving DC there for a little bit. And up, and no thank you from DC. Pays back Bude with a powerbomb down to the deck. There's the referee just standing in the ring, wondering if anyone is ever going to try to get the action back inside. There goes Sevius. And realized nobody was following and gave right up. Punch to the injured head. And crack. We heard the face of Reynolds go off. I think Reynolds has now also been busted open. That did it. Sevius Doom cracking Reynolds' head off the ring apron. DC there to capitalize, and elbow drop. DC now hyping things up. And another running elbow knocking Bude off their feet. DC running wild right now. And chops Sevius able to counter. Bude and Reynolds both just laid out on the ringside here. Drop kick from Sevius Doom. Finally trying to send DC back into the ring. Is he going to follow? Not with Bude charging from behind. Reynolds, though, might realize he has an opportunity here, and up. Hoisting Bude up. Just demonstrating the power of Sevius Doom. Going one-handed for a moment, and it worked. Down goes the back of Bude onto that wood. Follows through, and neckbreaker to Reynolds. Sevius, the only one left standing, begging one of his opponents to get up. He can't win unless he gets one of them back in the ring. Pounce from Reynolds. Capitalized by DC, sends Reynolds back into the ship's siding. Hip toss by Bude. And once again, lock up. Bude now into the ship's siding, and the kendo stick now in the hands of DC. Sevius Doom having absolutely none of it. Reynolds taking a moment to breathe and recover there. Sevius trying to capitalize. And DC sending Doom back into the ring. Bude now has the kendo stick, and over the head of DC. The hat is only going to protect so much from that blow. Down goes Bude. And softening up Sevius. DC there to capitalize. Double hook suplex. Sevius now down. DC and Reynolds the only two left standing. Reynolds sends DC into the ring. Is he going to follow through? No, he is turning his attention to Bude for a moment, but then realizes with DC alone in the ring that this may be an opportunity. Technical wrestling expertise now from Lasser. But what does he have in mind? Oh, and knee to the face of Reynolds. Booing through. Sevius and Bude locking in. Could this be Lasser's opportunity? And he has a crossface locked in on Reynolds. Is Reynolds going to tap? He's got that wrenched in deep. Reynolds, though, able to power out. DC almost putting this match to bed. Oh, and what does Reynolds have in mind? Up we go, and choo-choo. Down goes DC. Bude, though, able to see it out the corner of their eye. They save the match. And they drop Reynolds down. Bude capitalizing. Can Sevius make it in time? 1, 2. Sevius Doom barely breaks the pinfall up in time. Bude almost had that one. Oh, DC, counter elbow there, saw Reynolds charging and able to retaliate. Kendo stick back in action, Sevius Doom cracking it, and I think we're going for unleashing the Chew once again, going back to that well one more time. No rope breaks in this match. Is that going to do it? I think Reynolds has done it. 2, 3. Bude was not able to make it in time. It took unleashing the Chew twice, but Big Magic Reynolds pins DC Lasser to win this match and will advance next week to our main event. Big Magic Reynolds will face Abel Therron for the Sold Clout Championship, but we still have that long shadow of Brock hanging over that match. If Reynolds is able to put away Therron, there is nothing stopping Brock from immediately cashing in that briefcase and taking the title again. What an incredible match. All four fully aware of how important Clout is. What a performance. 2 matches left to go before we go into our critical main event. But we will be right back after these messages as the investigation by Battlestar Galactica continues next.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. that this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the centre. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre. As she makes her way down to the ring, the crusade of Battlestar continues.
Making her way to the ring, representing Chaos from Valhalla,
Battlestar has made her way through a number of the roster thus far. Last week, her showcase match against Kiri, which she did not come off successfully in, nonetheless was the showcase Kiri wanted, has given Battlestar the information they requested and has pointed them in the direction of their opponents tonight, Valoran Anastasia. A stealthy assassin for hire. You can see why Valoran is a prime suspect. Will she be able to put away Battlestar tonight? A valorous contest, is surely ahead of us. I was too proud of that pun and messed up the rest of the sentence. Locking up, here we go, and Anastasia locked up, gets the advantage early on, sends Val down to the mat. I suppose I should not call them Val, that makes it a little difficult to read, to understand. Battlestar versus Anastasia. Battlestar taking control, elbow drop down onto Anastasia. Followed by another. Battlestar is not here to play tonight. And again, just elbow drop, elbow drop, elbow drop, trying to break down Anastasia's defense. As we have seen from Anastasia multiple times in the past, you can't give her an opening. This assassin will take every opportunity to deliver a quick strike that can take their opponent down in one blow. Battlestar needs to keep the pressure up in this match. Cannot give an opening to Anastasia, but looks like that is exactly what she has done. Head scissors takedown by Anastasia. 1, 2, is that going to do it? Battlestar kicks out at 2. And back to the kick to the back, of Battlestar by Anastasia. Battlestar's back, not in the greatest of condition, so definitely a sensible area for Anastasia to target. She has clearly done research on her opponent tonight. And up and returning the favor over the knee and wrenching the spine now of Anastasia. Battlestar there almost going, how do you think that feels? Trying to go for the pinfall now. Didn't even make a 1. And bouncing off the ropes and back elbow drop by Battlestar. Taking a moment to drink in the crowd. That was a mistake. Anastasia drop kick to the back again. That's the problem with that tank main mentality, is you tend to wind up feeling that you're a little invulnerable at times and underestimating a quick opponent like Valorant. And she did it again. A clothesline from Anastasia and another. Running through, and those quick strikes, catches the boot and leg sweep. Oh, Battlestar this time rolling out of the way of that attempt, but not enough. Oh, what does Anastasia have in mind here? Just pulling those arms out of socket for Battlestar. And again, swift kick to the bad back. 1, 2, is that going to do it? Battlestar kicks out at 2. We continue to roll on. And quick sneak attack, that may well do it. Is that going to take out Battlestar? I think it is. Valorant able to fend off Battlestar.
Here is your winner, Veer.
That has to be a devastating blow once again for Battlestar. She cannot quite believe it there on the outside. Another setback. Not able to put away Anastasia. That is going to set Battlestar's investigation back even further. She is clearly going to need to recruit additional assistance in this. We will see how this continues to unfold, but next up, our main event. Tag champions will be crowned for the first time. Mary, teaming with Ashapal, will take on the team of Candy's Ginger. We'll be back after these short messages. Suplex the train! Himbo power! Come on. Need to pop more potions. Meteor strike! Oh, I can't suplex... Oh, yeah, that's right. I can suplex a train, but I can't suplex an octopus. And here is our octopus friendo. Can I suplex an octopus? Nope. Can't suplex an octopus, turns out. Too slippery. Can I suplex Ultima Weapon? I can suplex Ultimate Weapon. Come on. We're so close. Lift. Come on, Sabin. Come on. Suplex! Boom! Hippo power! Welcome back. You see it suspended above the ring.
Introducing first, representing Imperium from the heart unknown, the Warrior Princess.
Ashapal making her way down to the ring. Her and Mary qualifying for this match last week in a winning effort against the Dangerous Alliance. This will be the first ever tables, ladders, and chairs match here in AIW. All three legal. The tag champions there suspended above the ring. Which team can get those belts down first will be our inaugural tag champions here in AIW, and they will have a hell of a lot of clout to swing around. Driving her way down to the ring are Druid Mary. Mary has really established herself with a reputation of being a ring general here in AIW. Excellent ring awareness and has led multiple teams to victory in her time here, including her new alliance with Ashapal. Will that be enough to see Mary score her first taste of gold tonight? Their path to victory is not going to be an easy one. Her Royal Highness the Ginger Flame, she who sings on the graves of her enemies, and she has 2 graves she's looking to sing on tonight. Singing her way down to the ring, looking to add the Sold Clout Championships to her many, many accolades. The Ginger Flame, looking to set the arena on fire tonight. We saw earlier tag matches, broken up pinfall attempts. There is no pinfall that's going to win this match. You have to get up that ladder and take down those belts to score victory for your team. And the mood change hits as riding her way down to the ring is the other half of Candied Ginger, Candy Holiday. Candy has had shots at gold here in AIW before, not able to put away Glix. Has had a very, very fruitful partnership with the Ginger Flame as Team Candied Ginger. Will this be the culmination of their journey here? Will they be crowned our first ever tag team champions? Candy Holiday, definitely the most diminutive competitor in this match compared to her towering opponents and friend, but that is something that should not be underestimated. She may have a little farther up the ladder to go than the others, but she is scrappy. And there's what it's all out. Double Clout. One team is walking away with those titles here tonight. There are no tags in or out here in the TLC match. And it looks like Mary and Ashapal are out the gate the stronger team, really taking it to Candied Ginger. Wrenching the neck of Her Royal Highness is Mary as Asha sends Candy Holiday up over the shoulders. But Candy able to retaliate, as does the Ginger Flame. Quick shift and momentum there. Now Candy Ginger, the team in control. As Candy Holiday goes up to the top rope, thinks better of it, realizes she has an opportunity to ambush from behind, and down goes Mary as Ginger Flame bounces Asha off the announce table. Candy going for that ladder, and Mary backdrop. But here is the Ginger Flame back to save the day. Ooh, almost got taken out by that drop kick from Asha, but rolled back into the ring just in time to avoid. Ginger Flame and Asha locking up in the middle of the ring now as Mary is taking over, dominating Candy on the outside. And wrenching the neck of the Ginger Flame, trying to remove that operatic voice. Mary still in control on the outside. Asha sees an opportunity, tries to go for the fix early on, but Ginger Flame right there to play spoiler. Mary, though, counters. Candy knocks down, and a powerbomb sends Asha's back down onto the ladder. Excellent teamwork there by Mary and Ashapal. Candy Holiday saving this match for her team. And Asha now looking to return the favor, I think. Hoists Candy up and crashing down onto that ladder, and it's table time, says Mary. Mary and Asha in control now with table not quite yet set up in the middle of the ring. Candy coming to the rescue. Big running boot sends Asha out of the ring. Trying to set that ladder back up using a bit of a joust going on there. Turns out table beats ladder. Table is set up. Candy is in trouble now. Ginger Flame knocked out in the middle of the ring. Takes Mary down and just brutal punches. Candy trying to reposition that table there. Asha having none of that. Up and down goes Candy. Sends Candy off the ropes and back elbow by Asha sends Holiday down. Big elbow drop as well, although Mary and Ginger Flame now returning into the ring. Over goes the Ginger Flame, but Candy taking the opportunity, got Asha by the hair and down, driving Asha's face into her knees. Meanwhile, Mary bouncing Ginger Flame off the announce table. Trying to go for some sort of weapon, Candy having absolutely none of it. Ginger Flame taking advantage, grabbing that ladder. Tried to use that as a weapon. Asha wrenching it away. Sends that ladder back into the ring where it is going to be the most impactful, and down goes down goes the Ginger Flame. Candy set that table back up back in the middle of the ring, right where that ladder would need to go. That's going to at least be a hindrance. Oh, clothesline from Mary. Realized where Candy was coming from. And there we have that striking offense of Candy Holiday. And down goes Mary. Candy to Ginger in control right now. Asha able to roll away though. Is that going to lead to a shift? Doesn't look like it. Mary though waiting for Candy to turn around. Those two sizing each other up. Neither one willing to make the first move. There it goes. Grapple up. Mary gets the better of the exchange. I think Mary has Mary has vicious ideas in mind for Candy. And down she goes. Candy sent through the table. But the Ginger Flame there waiting, able to save her friend. Asha, meanwhile, setting up a larger ladder on the outside, forming a bridge between the ring and the announce table. Mary isolated between the two. Candy taking Asha down. This is the opportunity that the Ginger Flame needs. She's eyeing up Mary on the outside to make sure she has the chance she needs. Thought better of it. Didn't think she had the chance to go for it. Went to try help take out Asha. Gave Mary a chance to recover. Still though, 2-on-1. Mary facing down both of Team Candy to Ginger. Asha needs to recover to get this even back out. Powerbomb Mary down to the canvas. This is a great opportunity for Candy Ginger to score a victory in this match. No, too late though. Asha has recovered. Sends the Ginger Flame out of the ring. Grappling up with Candy. Candy able to fight loose. Quick strip right, and boom, down she goes. Mary though back up. Continually 2-on-1, but they are not able to keep either Mary or Asha down for long enough. And what does Asha have in mind here? Almost clipped Candy Holiday off that ladder there, and looking to finish the business with the steps, I think. Mary, meanwhile, ducking back out. We have that ladder separating both halves of each team. Candy getting the better of the exchange, sends Asha into that ladder, setting her up onto that. Candy very much in control right now. And there goes Asha rolling over, rolls under and through, reuniting the teams, but that is not good news for Mary and Asha, although Asha able to duck under, counters that spin kick, sends Candy bouncing off the announce table now. And working over the leg of Candy. Smart move there by Ashapal. That Battle Master tactics. If she takes out the legs of Candy Holiday, that's going to make it harder to climb that ladder. Oh, counter by Candy though, trying to return the favor. Candy sending Asha into the ship's decking. Meanwhile, Mary in control of Ginger Flame. Maybe not. Ginger Flame able to retaliate. Now sends Mary into the announce table. Candy Ginger back in control now. Asha stunned, Mary on the floor. This could be the opportunity they need. Double team on Ashapal. Steel chair in the hands of the Ginger Flame. Double team to Mary by Candied Ginger. Not even thinking about going for those straps right now. They are trying to make sure their opponents are put to sleep here on the outside. Give all the time in the world to climb that ladder without being interrupted. It's now Asha's turn to take the beating. Ginger Flame went for that steel chair, seemingly thought better of it. I guess not the quality of seating she is used to in the arenas she performs in. Candy going for the steps now. Will she be? I don't think she's going to be able to hoist them over that ladder though, and I think she realized that too. Meanwhile, the Ginger Flame dominating both Mary and Asha. And both up to the and double team offense. This is a vicious beating going to this team. Mary and Asha simply not able to counter the long-standing friendship between Candy Holiday and the Ginger Flame. Not as familiar each other with these two. The team of Mary and Asha desperately needs something to shift the momentum here. Figure 4 leg lock locked in by the Ginger Flame. Not going to cause a tap out victory, but is going to make injured legs of Mary harder. Oh, though, here we go. Asha now having Candy in control, smashing her spine against that ladder. Asha now finally taking control. Meanwhile, it looks like Mary has been able to reverse the pressure on that. Yet looks like that is tweaked to the knee of the Ginger Flame. And now, Mary and Asha, no, not quite in control. Candy Holiday able to counter, but Mary in control of the Ginger Flame now. Not quite as foregone a conclusion as it initially was looking. And oh my god! Did you see that? Dive over the top rope, sent Ashapal straight through that ladder. As Thol as my witness, that is broken in half. Candy now trying to choke out Mary, and the disrespect in that slap by Ginger Flame towards Asha. Stunner! Mary able to counter, sends Candy down. Meanwhile, Asha now finally able to get the better of that exchange with the Ginger Flame. Mary and Asha in control once again. The problem with that maneuver Candy used on Asha, sending her through that ladder, is that is going to do a lot of damage to Candy as well. High risk, high reward, but is the risk going to be worth it? Mary and Asha in control now, sending Ginger Flame flying. Steel chair in the hands of Asha, cracking over. Candy and Mary doing the same to Ginger Flame. Her Royal Highness able to counter, but Asha has the better of Candy. Candy, able to counter though. Strike to the leg, not able to overpower the half-orc Asha. And saw the Ginger Flame coming. Mary is down on the outside. Asha, the only one standing. Elbow drop across the throat of the Ginger Flame. Asha could have maybe gone for the ladder there, but instead, maybe the smarter move, doing additional damage to the Ginger Flame and Candy Holiday with that steel chair, allowing Mary time to get back to her feet. Asha sending Candy back into the ring. Risky maneuver by Ashapal. Sure, that isolates the Ginger Flame, but if Candy is able to recover, not in time it seems. Asha turning our attention back, and same mistake now by Ginger Flame, sending Mary into the ring. Candy into the corner. Ginger Flame now, all four competitors back into the ring. But what does Mary have in mind? And over she goes. Asha doing the same to Candy. Ginger Flame has to roll out to recover. Both are down on the outside. This is the chance they need. Are they going to go for that ladder? It's in position. No. Mary deciding not to climb the ladder up there. Going for more punishment to the Ginger Flame. Asha doing the same to Candy. Divide and conquer strategy, but Candy able to counter. I think Mary realized. Clothesline by Candy to Asha. Mary trying to take stock of the ring. Up top she goes. Asha's able to get... What is... Oh, Mary realizing Asha now has control of things on the outside. I think we may be in a little bit of trouble in the middle of the ring. Mary, I think, realizing the table is knocking that ladder off balance. I don't think she's quite able to maneuver it around the way she needs to. And that has given the opportunity for the Ginger Flame to recover, and realizing now that Asha was getting double teamed on the outside, Candy Ginger now back in control. Candy going for something under the ring, maybe thinking better of it. Ginger Flame saying, oh, just pulling more and more steel chairs out. But Mary going back into the ring, trying to take advantage of that distraction. Candy realizing. And again, locking in that, I think she's going for the sharpshooter. She is. Again, no submission victory in this match, but making those injured legs of Candy Holiday all the harder to climb that ladder with. Asha now going back under the ring. Oh, meanwhile, Candy able to finally power out of that sharpshooter there and making Mary suffer for it. Up onto, and good night. Down goes Mary. Asha, seeing what's going on in the ring, turns ready to save her friend. Is it going to be enough? Ginger Flame recovered on the outside. Down goes Asha. Mary back on her feet. Ginger Flame waiting for the opportune moment. Trying to sneak around to the outside. What is the Ginger Flame waiting for here? And down we see just the impact of that, sending those table chunks. Oh, and a shoulder barge from Mary. Oh, and both of them going up top. What is going on here? Asha dives onto Candy. And Mary doing the same to the Ginger Flame. High flying offense from Asha and Mary. And oh, spin around, and cracking the head of Candy Holiday off the announce table. They know it is going to take a lot to keep these two down. Off the announce table she goes, and double hook suplex over by Mary on the north side of the ring. Another elbow drop from Asha. Into the barricade goes the Ginger Flame, and up and crack the head of the Ginger Flame, bouncing off the ship's siding. Striking offense. Candy trying to get the momentum shifted back against Asha, and she does so. Ginger Flame, meanwhile, doing the same on the outside. I think they keep going under that ring. I don't think they're going to find anything under there. And Candy dropping the face of Asha into the wooden decking. And Mary, realizing Asha's in trouble, tries to go for the save. Candy able to counter. Candy now the only one standing. Never mind, Asha's back on her feet as well. As is the Ginger Flame, who's just done with technique and just bouncing Mary's head off the decking. Mary not happy about that. Double team by Mary and Asha. Sends Candy back into the ring. Isolating Ginger Flame, who is able to fight out, but not for long. Candy, is she going to realize? Oh, Nope, Candy, again, having no interest in going for that ladder. And a little bit of technical wrestling there by Mary with a disrespectful slap to the back of the head of Candy, who is not happy about that, and hoisting up Mary and down into a powerful punch. Everyone in this match has to be feeling it at this point, this deep in. Sends Ginger Flame into the steps. Mary just on her back in the middle of the ring, isolated, has a grand opportunity if she is even aware of where she is right now. Mary back to her feet, does realize, and sort of taking stock of the situation in the middle of the ring there as the Ginger Flame comes to join. And bounces Mary off, and down they go. Ginger Flame in control in the ring now. Mary again passed out. Candy knocked out on the outside. Asha, the only one on her feet, goes for the ring steps. Into the face of Candy Holiday. Wrenching the neck back of the Ginger Flame. Mary and Asha very much in control. And that continues, bouncing Candy's head off the side of the ship. And there we still see it hanging over the top. Those titles are what we are here for tonight. Although you wouldn't know it with the way these two teams have been beating 7 shades of hell out of each other. DDT drives Ginger Flame down to the decking. I think, is Asha going to go for... Nope, checking back under the ring again. Still nothing has been knocked loose. Nothing down there. I'm sorry, Asha. And what do we have it? Sending Candy down, and Mary turning her attention back to the Ginger Flame. Slap once again by Ginger Flame. And Candy Ginger now back in control again. This is a incredibly swingy contest between these two as Asha just bench presses Candy into the ground. Asha, I think, confused, continually going to check under that ring, not able to find anything. And sends Candy back into the ring. Those two now locking up in the middle as Ginger Flame now turning her attention to the ring as well. Realized Asha had some violence in mind for Candy. Saved her friend, and over she goes. Asha now smack down in the middle of the ring. Slight gradual shifting of the ladder. Slowly moving those pieces of table out of the way too, as we might be able to clear our way to some sort of finale here. Oh, and just the slap. And there you go. Good night, Mary. Asha back in the ring. Mary taken out on the outside. Bouncing Asha off the ladder. You heard that thud all the way back here. Mary recovering and inflicting punishment back onto the Ginger Flame. Rolling out the way and, oh, tried to go, but no, the kendo stick, oh, crack over the head. You heard that. Down goes the Ginger Flame. Down goes Candy. Mary and Asha once again in control. Are they finally going to capitalize? Nope. Asha going to help double team. And up and down goes Mary into... but there is the waiting Asha ready to take advantage. Oh, and finally, Candy taking the advantage of the opportunity. Tries to climb that ladder. Can Asha going up the other side? We are finally seeing a contest ending counter between these two. Punch to the underarm. Asha trying to just out-muscle Candy. I think she's able to do it. And there's Mary. Takes the ladder down. Sending both her teammate and Candy to the outside. But Asha able to recover first. Checking back under the ring. Oh, this time I think she's found something. Another ladder. Mary has brought another ladder into the equation. Oh, bit of a miscommunication there. Trying to get that set up. Knocked Asha down. Ginger Flame, meanwhile, has taken yet another ladder out, and tables are back into the equation. Down goes the Ginger Flame. Asha isolated in the ring. Is Asha going to do it? I think she might. Candy is down. Mary has the Ginger Flame to rights on the outside. But, oh, Candy is back up. And down goes the ladder, and down goes Asha, and bang onto the pile of ladders. And down goes Mary. Candy now in control. Dominant standing in the middle of the ring is Candy Holiday. But both of her opponents are lying right where those ladders need to be set up. Ginger Flame, meanwhile, has recovered and taking advantage of the situation. She has a ladder of her own. Props that back up in the corner, trying to clear a little room in the middle of the ring. I think she has some viciousness in mind for Mary. There goes that chop. And there it goes. Diva Slam to Mary. Going back to that ladder that was set up earlier. Realizing Asha's taking control of Candy, drops the ladder, works over the leg of Mary. Ginger Flame and Asha now the two standing. Asha making her way back into the ring, knocks loose the ladder, but Mary on the outside. Asha isolated in the ring with both members of Candy's Ginger up. And trading these chopped over a hip toss by Asha. Candy, they're able to capitalize. Mary back in the middle of the ring though. Rolls out of the way. Candy distracted. Oh, she realizes Mary is back. I think Candy almost went for that dive over the top rope again, still feeling it from earlier. Thought better of it. Mary now the only one in the middle of the ring, but all the ladders have been cleared. Candy back with the table. I think maybe looking for some revenge after being put through one earlier. Ginger Flame and Asha both having ladders in mind, both sending them back into the middle of the ring, and then both following through. Ginger Flame and Asha locking up. Ginger Flame gets the better of the exchange. Mary has Candy down on the outside and drives Asha down onto those ladders, but there's Mary following through. We talked about it earlier, that ring awareness, that strategy of Mary has won time and time again. Asha, this is your opportunity. But she's waiting, she's keeping an eye, making sure the Ginger Flame is out. I think Asha might be a little rocked though. I think Asha just swaying there. She has taken a number of blows to the head in this match. She is out in the middle of the ring. I think Asha just forgot where she was for a moment. Gave Candy time to recover, and that's not going to help. Another knee strike to the head. Candy trying to make her way around the ring. Can she get that ladder set up? Mary's down. There's the Ginger Flame for assistance. Mary had to roll to the outside. This has to be it. Mary and Asha both injured on the outside. Ginger Flame getting a table for safekeeping. She is alone in the middle of the ring. This has to be it. Candy Holiday grasping those titles, but Mary's back on her feet. And Asha, the Sharks circling the water. Can they make it in time? No. Candy Holiday gets the belts. Candied Ginger are your first ever AIW Double Clout champions. What a match. What a fight. Candied Ginger leaving nothing in the ring. Mary and Asha, nothing at all to be ashamed of. There they are, our first ever Double Clout champions. Candied Ginger. Tag belts that they may need a couple of weeks to be able to defend, because there is going to be some rehab after those matches, I can assure you. What a finale. That is the sheer desire for clout that every competitor here in All Influencer Wrestling has. And next week, that competitive nature continues. Next week's main event established tonight, Abel Therron will be defending the Soul Clout Championship against Big Magic Reynolds for the first ever time. Will the Chew be able to pull in to Clout Station? We'll find out next week. I've been Captain Tyrion Guidal, and remember, as always, to stay #out for Clout. Good night.